Hello everybody, my name is Teener, and this is the map name is Kign-Parkour, aka I don't know, load in is busy something something. I don't know who the map creator is, but a lot of people are jumping. You go first. I'm so evil. That's how we do it, bro. Hmm. This looks. Crouch! I assume here? Oh. I did not see that. Got my head bumped. So, it's been a while since I've recorded a video. So, why am I recording now? Do an underspring there. We got two white guys here. White skins at least. We got Narnia. Go. So, I don't really know what to talk about. Oh, I fell. I think I should talk about something because not talking about anything at all is pretty boring while I just play the game if I always fail a lot. So, talking is actually very helpful. And there are dogs barking. And I fell. Why do I keep fumbling there? Got the dino over here. Hey, nah. Quit. Pretty cool, I guess. What do I want to talk about? Oh. I think it's regarding about One Piece because I read One Piece and I think I caught up. I caught up with the manga. And so I just finished God Valley arc. What is Blood doing? I finished God Valley arc, and suffice to say, I feel like the arc is underwhelming because, my opinion at least. You know, there's a path here, so I shall take it. There we go. Pretty cool path. I hope I don't slip. There we go. So what I want to cover is not the God Valley arc. It's about the history behind the history behind the voice entry. Let's slide down here. So, regarding the voice entry, we know if you don't watch this, we don't know One Piece. Oh crap! I over jumped there. So the voice century is being covered up by the world government. So you got multiple factions here, or basically everyone wanting to know about it, thanks to Vegapunk's broadcast. His broadcast is basically just a long yapping till he finally died. Remember. Spring here. That works. So, oh crap. Bam, hard reset. So the problem here seems to be... it was mentioned in One Piece lore that there was actually two major wars, global wars. And as such, the world government is trying to cover it, basically. So you got the Revolutionary Army wanting to find out about it. Okay, so I'm back. Frick. Okay, so I can't concentrate when I play, so just have to take things slow. The world government. Oh my goodness, why am I so trash? I haven't played Halo for a while. That's my cope. So the world government wants to censor stuff in the world, and they don't want anyone knowing about it. I don't know why, but it's actually related to the ancient weapons. Because the One Piece, according to Vegapunk, that's where the last of the ancient weapons are stored. And whoever finds the One Piece would have tremendous firepower in its arsenal. So we got like Luffy, Straw Hat Fleet. I mean, no. We got the Straw Hat faction, we got the Revolutionary faction, they want to stop any problems. Got Shanks wanting to go in, and we also got Blackbeard, and possibly the Navy itself will have to get involved because this news has spread. So all actors with organizations wanted something there because whoever holds that power, if it's true, well, it will be tremendous. But for whatever reason, the Roger Pirates who left that treasure behind seemed to not have anything, or they probably hid it. But they knew the world is actually sinking. So with that out of the way, I'm now qualified to talk about what's bugging me. So in the history of One Piece, there's actually not one major global war, but two major global wars, or best called as world wars. So just like our history, I guess they also have their own world wars. So in the current One Piece lore, what they actually have is both World Wars 2, but the difference is that the First World War seems to have been forgotten, while the Second World War is currently being censored. So why? Why is it being censored? I don't really know the implications behind it, but oh no, I do know. I think it's related to those weapons. The world government, particularly Emo, doesn't want people poking their nose to those weapons. I understand him, her, whoever, what type of gender, either he or she, but yeah. So naturally, he or she wants to maintain world order. And you can't maintain world order if everyone wants to have those ancient weapons, because each of them has their own agendas. Could go here. I don't even know what I'm doing, I'm just jumping around. Jeez. I should go here, but it should go downstairs. So, with that, let's proceed with my theory. I think the world of One Piece is post-apocalyptic. I think it's implied already, but I'm going to double down on why it is post-apocalyptic. Did you remember that there's like two global wars? So it would make sense. People forgotten about the first World War, but they don't know anything about it. But I do. Most of the weaponry in One Piece are smooth-bore rifles or muskets, cannons from the 18th, 17th to 18th century, 19th, you could even call Napoleonic era type of cannonballs, ships and stuff in that style, same style. So it's not hard to assume that their world is very similar to ours. Or maybe their world developed up to the 20th century only. Or maybe it could be too advanced. The world got too advanced. This is only possible because of the Mother Flame and everything else. So I think the world, the One Piece world, is very similar to ours. I already said this again, but yeah. But not what you think. I think it's much more advanced. It's similar to ours, but much more advanced. How advanced? I'm not sure. Maybe a... let's say like 4 tiers of civilization. This is my own. I'm not trying to copy that format that I saw on the internet. I'm just making my own tiers of civilizations. Let's say the tier 1 civilization is farming and medieval. Tier 2 civilization is what we currently are in our real world. Tier 3 civilization is conquering the planet's resources. Well, Tier 4 civilization is about space exploration. So our world is probably edging between Tier 2 and Tier 3. Well, the One Piece world is probably Tier 4. Because they have colonized the galaxy and everything. Why do they say this? Because in the NL cover story, we could see space pirates. So I assume that pirates in space could only happen whenever there was once a great civilization. It collapsed and then factions broke into multiple types of groups from that said civilization, and then it culminated into each faction wanting to scavenge what's left of the civilizations that once existed. Hence the word space pirates. There are pirates because they're trying to scavenge what technology that's left behind in the universe. So the One Piece is currently between Tier 2. I mean the current One Piece timeline. Tier 1 to Tier 2 because it's all disconnected, interconnected place. There's pirates, there's world government that's barely functioning. And yeah. There's no proper law and order. Basically there's like chaos and everywhere, so it's Tier 1 to Tier 2. Well, our world on Earth is Tier 2 because we have advanced technology but not too advanced that we could have that would have conquered our planet's resources. Not yet, we're still not there. So yeah. So I think that the First World War occurred during the Tier 3 to 4 civilization. And why did it occur? We don't know. It could be like a mad event, mutually assured destruction, where countries have competing goals against each other, like the Cold War, US and USSR. Basically, unlike our world, the timeline in One Piece worlds has gone to bad. Basically, it's gone to Inferno, and all of them fired their nuclear nukes or something. Maybe it could be connected to the Mother Flame. Let's say they have numerous Mother Flame discoveries. This Mother Flame is equivalent to the One Piece world of nukes, so it would be in line to. There we go. And as such, that scared me there because I thought I was gonna die. So let's rewind. Narnia. Let's rewind. Forgot what I was talking about. So there's some sort of world war that broke out in the pre-Void Century, even before the first one. And then multiple nations are, the world basically destroyed itself because of greed. And after that, the world is, of course, healing from the after effects. There were barely a few survivors. Maybe there are survivors, but very scattered. But let's say those civilizations exist, but the world is basically destroyed. So people and the survivors will form new factions, new nations, and new civilizations. This is where I will use Adventure Time as a reference, because in Adventure Time we see that in the prequel, their world is actually similar to ours, but it destroyed itself by nuclear wasteland and everything. And I think the One Piece world is similar to that. The Mother Flame destroyed everything, and as such, new people born out of the new era after the war, the post-war, has a new era for the world. And then that's where the Void Century occurred, where there was a brewing. The world is entering a new phase, and then Joy Boy, etc. I don't really know what they were doing, but the world is advanced, okay? The world fixed itself. The world is on its way to fix itself once again. It's not to the level of advanced technology as the first world, before the First World War, but the One Piece world is heading there. But something did occur, like in the Void Century. That's what Emu and the world government is trying to censor. Basically, there's a war between them, and in my opinion, I think this is what happened. Joy Boy didn't know Emu's powers, so when he combated him with his fleet, his nakama, his allies, they all got turned against him. So that's why they're saying sorry, because they were probably once controlled, manipulated by Emu. Or maybe, I don't know. So how did Emu somehow control the 20 nations? That is now like the 20 nations of the world government, the Celestial Dragons. In my opinion, I think the Celestial Dragons were once a bunch of Chad people, strong people, very ambitious and everything, and then they turn into whatever they are today because of their greed and status. It's normal like that. I mean, it shows in history that most of the royal families, before they were established, most of them are from peasants that rose from power because they're cunning, they're smart, and established royal families. And as such, the current royal families, the descendants of the original Chad Celestial Dragons, turn into whatever the hell they are currently, who do genocides and etc. So, because of their inbreeding, evolution turned against them, and they became what they are now. And most importantly, I think, yeah, so basically that. I don't really know what to talk about. So that's my theory, at least. I think the First World War, was actually a world that's in tier 4 civilization, or just a bit advanced spacefaring civilization. Let's say a semi-spacefaring civilization that's tier 4. That's the One Piece world before the First World War. When the First World War ended, One Piece world was destroyed. So where do I keep getting this? Why there's no evidence that I could present, right? Well, I do. As you can see in One Piece, they have some sort of technology that are advanced but are left behind. We got the ancient robot, and we also got, I think the ancient robot was a relic from the First World War. Maybe not. Let's say it's not. Let's say that after the First World War, the civilizations of One Piece developed and restarted again. They advanced to their own, reaching their own tier 4 before, until something occurred relating to Joy Boy, Emu, and etc. So that stopped, and because of that, I don't know where to go. Why did maintenance appeared? Sorry. There you go. Alright. Not even concentrating. Was talking a lot. And yes, this is it. There we go. Oh. Alright, let's continue. So, after the First World War, I mean, I'm so incoherent. So, in this before the First World War, their world is very similar to ours. Advanced spacefaring, as evidenced by the space pirates. But they destroyed themselves. So they reverted back. Wait, what? Okay. Alright, I guess here. Okay. Can't concentrate. Dogs barking. Please be quiet. Can I end the jump? No! Why does it throw me there? Basically, this is what happened. A gigantic war engulfed the whole world, and then because of those weapons from the Void Century War, it sank the entire world 200 meters deep into the ocean. This is very similar to Tolkien's Silmarillion, where the war between the gods and Morgoth plunged the world of Beleriand depths into the sea. Kinda like Atlantis. So, whatever ancient weapons that existed are probably iterations from the First World War itself. They are very similar but modified already. And can't even spring. This is so trash. No! Oh my goodness. Who's that? Horrid! I feel like that guy's recognized. I recognize him. Don't you dare, fell. I can't seem to get out. There we go. There we go. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, crap. Shredded and huge. No, I don't need your boost, bro. Something wrong with my mouse? Doesn't work. Well, at least that worked. So yeah, here's the timeline. Before the World Wars, there are two World Wars. Oh my goodness, who the flip pushed me? The First World War. Alright, no. Let's get in line with the timeline. Before the First World War, One Piece world is tier 4 civilization, which means they are spacefaring, semi-spacefaring. They're not strong as spacefaring, but they have the technology. But they destroyed themselves like the Cold War version. And after destroying themselves, the world plunged into darkness. But they rebuilt. They rebuilt themselves. They rebuilt themselves to be better. And after rebuilding themselves, the technology has developed and modified from the First World War. So I think they have nukes called Mother Flames, which they enhance. They have a lot of ancient weapons. They have a lot of robots. So think of the One Piece world as very fantasy style, set in a pirate setting. So you got that. Where do I get my evidences? My evidences are from NL cover story. We also have you jump there, I guess. Oh crap. Oh, I got it. Oh crap. Oh, that worked. So we got that. Um. Oh my goodness. Crouch jump ruined me. Right, I can't continue. So let's recap. I need to be in focus. I'm going to stand here, watch him do it. Alright. Here's what happened, in my opinion. So, before the World Wars, their technology was Tier 4 spacefaring civilization. Not too advanced in spacefaring, but still entering the age of spacefaring. They have nukes, whatever it is, and advanced technology. Then they destroyed themselves because of Cold War scenario, but gone too bad compared to ours. And after that, the world recovered for a few hundred years, maybe 1,000 years, until they finally develop into something advanced. That's where the ancient weapons comes into place, because these weapons are probably modified from the First World War and into the Second World War. The Second World War is the Void Century. That's where Emo and the world government was trying to censor, and is still trying to censor. So what happened is that there's like 20 kingdoms that ally with the world government. These are advanced kingdoms, probably. Why? They have the Mother Flame. I think only a few nations have it. They also have like Poseidon, etc. They also have numerous things. But one of the key things is that they have smooth bore weapons, they have guns, they have advanced technology like radar, they have submarines, they have airship balloons. This type of technology could be present from 20th century mostly. So I assume they're from the First World War, or it destroyed itself. They rebuilt it, they modified the weapons to their own, and as such, yeah, like that. So with that, I am not sure where Devil Roots came from. Vegapunk's explanation was pretty okay, because it formed from people's dreams. I like it because everyone wanted something. Like, you have a dream about, I wanted to ride a plane, I wanted to have powers that I could stop the water or something. So it makes sense why Devil Fruits bore into fruition that way. It gives the One Piece world at least a mystical feeling. Even if the answer is a bit underwhelming, it does make sense in the One Piece theme wise. And even if it is underwhelming compared to like big plot twists or whatever, it actually fits. It actually fits in the story. So, with that out of the way, let's resume again. So, the Void Century war between Joy Boy and Emu. So yeah, most of the ancient weapons were actually wielded by Joy Boy, but some of his allies were turned against him, and because of that, he couldn't attack his own. Maybe, or maybe his allies that wields the ancient weapons were turned against him, and as such, he lost. Oops. Nowhere to go. I stand here. I think so. No! Frick. So yeah, I'm not sure if I could finish this map. Just trash. So in summary, I'm going to use Adventure Time from the Cartoon Network show. The First World War is similar to Adventure Time where the world destroyed itself, but they regroup, they develop their own, they advance, and they fix themselves. And then they came the Second World War where Joy Boy, Emo, the robots era, and the giant elephant. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. So yeah, that's where they came from. But they lost that war. And Joy Boy was defeated, and then we don't know the whole true story because sometimes the true story could be different. Maybe Emo was actually defeated, but in the end, he somehow possessed everyone that Joy Boy was actually the villain touch. Even if they won, Joy Boy was castrated away. Maybe that could have happened. Not sure. But yeah, I think that's all. I'll try to beat this one more time. If I don't, I guess that's all. I'm pretty tired. And yeah, I guess this map is called Kign-Parkour. Kign-Parkour. Pretty cool map. I guess that's all. Thanks for watching.